Nobody wants to arbitrate.
Nobody else. Nobody. So how do we fix that? How do we change the culture at an auction to where we don't even have arbitration anymore? Do you think you could have time to maybe meet me at the gate?
I'm Rich Levene, and this is Meet Me at the Gate, where we're not just talking theory, we're tackling real-world problems head-on, driving solutions that supercharge productivity and team dynamics. Every episode is a journey towards improvement, empowering you, the manager, to lead with innovation and confidence. Join us to transform everyday roadblocks into highways for success.
So, what happened? Because I think you've been working on something. Now, I'm curious to know, what have you been working on?
You got me fired up.
What happened?
Last week we were driving home. We do our back and forth calls. Sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes it's 15. Sometimes I'm in the middle of this. Sometimes we go for 2.5 hours. Sometimes it's 2.5. So last week it was 2.5. I got my brain going.
Let's hear about it.
So this whole culture thing we're talking about, right? Trying to build a culture. You know I love DISC.
Yeah.
But how can we take culture and do something similar, not the same, something similar? So I racked my brain, did a lot of work, a lot of note taking, and came up with this concept that I'm going to put out, and I'm working on it. I've already built an assessment.
Now, before you go to the assessment, please define for me, what is culture in our world?
If culture doesn't slap you in the face, you don't have it. And that could be good or that could be bad. So I broke it into 4 categories.
Okay. Culture,
So,
you've taken culture and you put it into 4 categories.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So I can try to measure it.
That's interesting. Tell me more.
Yeah, I got to have something tangible, right? Somebody comes in and says, hey, Ty, you got a great culture. Oh, yeah, I got a lot of great people working for me. We're doing a hell of a job. So I categorize that. That is category number 2. Or let's go back category number 1, baseline. And I worked this on what I call a continuum, right? So you slide all the way left or all the way right.
Okay.
And if you bend it around, I guess you could have a circle, but on a continuum. So base level. Let's go all the way back to 1800s. Andrew Carnegie, or Carnegie, however you want to say him, and all the barons and tycoons that started the Industrial Revolution, right? I need you to show up at 8 o'clock in the morning and you get until 5 o'clock, and I need work, and I need production. You're going to do as I say. That is level 1, command and control. Okay. Level number 2 is what I just said, and I'm going to call it accidental is the word I'm going to use. Hey, I got some great people working here. We have a lot of fun working together. We have good meetings. We have good sales. We have good this, good that. Yeah, great. It just accidentally came together. You had luck on your side. That's cool. It's better than command and control. And then you got step number 3, which I call the production level.
Okay.
Right? Hey, you got some great people working here. How about if we start measuring your output? How many cars can you sell, Ty? How many cars can you move, Ty? How much money can you make, Ty? How much of this can you do? How much of that can you do? We need KPIs. We got to be able to measure it.
Yeah.
All right, we're moving up, but it's still not a great culture, right? And then the last one is what I'm building, and it's what I call intentional. You've got a vision, you've got values, and you make all your decisions around it, and now you've raised the standard. So, for example, what I'm working on, what I wrote about in my book is the 4 values: trust, hope, humility, and empathy. At the auction I'm working at, our vision is to become the most trusted auction in the world. We have a vision. We're working towards something. It's not an accident. It's intentional. We're trying to put the values behind it. We're trying to put the vision behind it. Everything we do comes in to play now. And that culture can play into a lot of things. So nobody wants to hear the bullshit on that. So let's talk arbitration. You love arbitrations, right?
I love arbitrations. It's my favorite.
Okay. So we'll give you an example. You got a car you want to arbitrate. What do you want to arbitrate? Let me know. Anything.
Let's do the 2020 Ford Taurus.
Okay. What's wrong with it, Ty?
It's making some weird noise in the motor.
All right. So if you're taking that back to an auction, we're going to use auction in this example, that is in level 1 culture. No, Ty, you can't advertise that. The rules say you can't advertise it. I make the rules around here. Get out of my face. No, you can't arbitrate it. I didn't want you to come back anyway. You're nothing but a whiner, a complainer, and a loser. You should go buy cars somewhere else.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, at least I know how you feel. Thanks. Have a great day.
All right. Level 2, same car. Oh, Ty, you're a great guy, man. Yeah, absolutely. I'll take that back for you. Not a problem. Well, that's odd. I was just talking to my buddy Bob, and he had the same problem, and he didn't take it back. Well, Bob, he's not in the circle. He's not one of us. He's not as friendly with us. So, we treat him a little different. But Ty, you're my guy. So yeah, I'm going to arbitrate this one. And that's the level 2 of the friendly, cordial, accidental, right? You pick and choose what you want to do.
Yeah, true. I know plenty of auctions like that.
Yep. Let's go to level 3. I've got the NAAA arbitration rules right here. Tell me exactly what it is you'd like to arbitrate, Ty. What about that engine is it? I need to know specifically. The motor.
Motor noise.
Motor noise. Yeah, that's a pretty big topic. I'm going to have some more information, Ty. I can't arbitrate it on motor noise. It's subjective.
Well, it's making a noise that sounds like the rods and pistons are going to come out of the bottom and the top.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we can arbitrate that. That fits the rules. It's in the rules. We can go ahead and I can arbitrate that. I'm going to get my best arbitration guy to look at it, and I'll give you a call back in 2 days.
Great.
Now let's go to level 4 culture.
Okay.
Right? What do we want to do? We want to become the world's most trusted auction.
Yeah, I want
to have our values. What am I going to do? How you become in my shoe in that situation? I want to arbitrate a car, and you want to become the world's most trusted auction. What are you going to do?
I'm going to let you know that you're important, and I'm going to take the car, and I'm going to go arbitrate.
Yep. I'm the GM of that. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to arbitrate this car for you. Why? Well, the reason being is if I want to become the most trusted, forget your rules, right? Then it's becomes splitting hairs. It's either command and control, like we talked about, or it's KPIs. Oh, I'm going to lose money. I'm going to lose my ass. Or it doesn't fit the rules. But this one, I'm going to become the most trusted. So it puts it back on you as the auction of what can I do better to avoid arbitrations down the road, which is where you and I've had this conversation. We've brought Kirk on. Remember that little vision I had? How do we eliminate arbitration?
Well, our original plan was just to have red light only auction. That was our original plan.
We've moved a long ways
from
from
that. We were
that.
going to eliminate arbitration
Which isn't, there's nothing.
Beware. Yeah, so we flipped the script.
Yeah, there's nothing. Yes, bingo. There's nothing wrong with that. If I could own my own auction, I'd go do an as-is auction, but then I'm not going to be able to be NAAA certified. If I want to be NAAA certified or affiliated auction and run with all the big boys, I got to play by the rules.
Yeah.
But then culture starts coming in. That's where we start coming into. So it starts coming into play all the time. 2
podcasts before this, we talked about upstream. So what we're doing is we're getting to the problem, and then we're working our way back up. So how do we fix that? How do we change the culture at an auction to where we don't even have arbitration anymore? But we're still a part of the NAAA, and we're running with the big boys now.
Here's what I think we're getting clients. We're getting there. So what I think you have to do is, honestly, a command and control culture is not going to work, because if you do that, then you're going to piss people off and you're not going to get clients. If you have that accidental culture, you're not consistent. There goes my whole theory on consistency, accuracy, transparency equals trust. One of our values is trust. So that level is not going to work. Then you get to KPIs where you want to measure everything. And then you're going to start making your decisions based on, well, I've had too many ARBs. I've got room to take an ARB. Whatever it is, you're going to work it in that way. Or you get to what I'm talking about, which is going to be very difficult and it's very hard, but it's quite possible. It's building a culture that's intentional, where you start focusing on values and goals. And in the one I have to become the most trusted auction, based on trust, hope, humility, and empathy, we have to go back and fix our processes. We have to make a better process. Instead of letting somebody just bring me a car in and say, hey, here's this car. I want you to run at green light. We don't do anything. We just put it on the floor, put it on the, start bidding. The auctioneer runs and gets it. Guy buys it. And then 2 hours after the sale, he comes in and says, hey, this is, what you said. It's got a bad motor. It sounds like the pistons, rods, and everything else is going to explode in this thing. It sounds like shrapnel. That doesn't help us. Nobody wins in that. And that would be an example of an accidental culture. I was thinking about this morning driving to work. I was this person. And I was like, this is why I love where I think I'm going, is hey, Ty, I got a new client. They're going to come on board. I'm telling you that as a salesperson, or you're the salesperson. You walk in, hey, Rich, I just landed a new client, a new dealer. He's going to bring us 15 cars next week. In the past, this is what I do. Please don't arbitrate. Come on, be honest. Make sure the cars come in. Make sure they're good. Please, 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 please. Now, what we do is like, you know what? Great. Send me your 15 cars. I'm going to run them through our process. I'm going to inspect them. I'm going to CR them. I'm going to test drive them. I'm going to take that data and I'm going to find out what is the best way to announce this car to avoid arbitration. Are you good with that? And if they say yes, we got a deal. If they say no, you know what? Then I'm probably not the sale for you.
Right. And I think what you've been telling me is, if I heard you right, the dealers that are coming in are actually going for this program.
Yes,
Like they
sir.
actually like it. See, one
Yeah.
thing you left out, you didn't leave it out. It's just one thing that I know we've talked about this. You want to, you're doing your prayer, God, please, 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 please.
Yep.
Well, the other part of that was please have titles and please have a realistic floor. And I think those two you left out. But I
Hey,
think if I hear you
that's
right,
the holy
by
grail. That's
by
all
doing,
three of them.
if you can get all three, you win. But by doing this process, I think you use some kind of technology that tells you the value of a car when you scan the VIN, right? Based on, is this car clean? Is it dirty? Is it bad?
Yeah,
So by doing I don't know. We're just
yeah, I may or may not have written a little app to help us do this, a little technology. So we're taking that bundle of information and we're bouncing it off of all the rest of the information known in the world. So like your 2020 Ford Taurus you were talking about, like, are there any open service bulletins on that? TSBs, transportation service bulletins. Are there any recalls on it? What are other things that have been known? What are some complaints on it? I was looking through. I was helping out the other day because we got a boatload of cars come through for check-in, and so I was helping them. I was out there actually working the lane, doing the work, and I think it was a Mazda comes through, and it came back, and one of the things we're asking for feedback on when we send our information out is known issues. And it came back on this Mazda that there's a high level of complaints with retail people buying them, that the brakes wear out prematurely. Okay, we didn't note that the brakes were bad. We don't have to note that the brakes are bad, but that definitely helps us.
well, yeah, but me not knowing the auction and the rules and all the arbitration rules, I would think breaks don't need to be announced. Breaks aren't arbitratable.
Yeah, they're not.
But now
They're
you're
not.
saying, well, on these particular Mazdas, the brakes are bad. So are you implying that we need to let somebody know about this, or
What if somebody wants to certify it? I mean, so I don't have to let anybody know, but let's say it's a bank car, like maybe Exeter runs with us and they want to certify cars and they want to silver certify it. I would look at it and say, okay, when I'm giving it to the mechanic, I would say, we're going to silver certify this. Just make sure you double check the brakes and like there isn't something crazy going on, because there's been a lot of complaints. The last thing you want is somebody to come back and bring a car back to you. We're trying to avoid arbitration. I'm not trying to make a perfect car. I'm just trying to avoid arbitration. And that might not be a good example, but it was crazy, the information that we're getting back about cars.
right? That's the takeaway. It's you're doing the work before the car goes through the lane. You're doing the what we call due diligence, DD. You're finding out everything you can about this car that's getting ready to go through your auction, so that way you're prepared. If there's a problem, we know about it going
Yep.
into this.
Yep.
Sure, if we're doing now, is this exclusively for certification or is it for pretty much every car?
It's for every car, and it depends on how you want to announce it and then where we want to put that. If I don't have to disclose it. So let me give you a crazy example. And this is a real world example. Had a Honda Civic come in with no cats. The catalytic converter was cut out. So we want to run it red light. We could run it green light. We run it green light, we have to announce the fact that the cat is out. That is a required disclosure.
Yeah.
If I run it on red light, it's not. According to NAAA, go to page 10, the PDF chart on the right-hand column, it clearly says you don't have to do that. But in our model, because we're trying to be consistent, accurate, and transparent, hey, Mr. Dealer, we're going to run this red light and we're going to announce that it's missing the cats. That's why it's red light. The dealer, the seller, can make the determination of whether or not they want to announce it. They don't have to. But in my experience, based on some samples I've done, The more we tell somebody about a car, the higher the bid is, because now they know what they're buying. There's no guesswork. That car comes through and it's just red light and you don't tell them anything. They're going to bid the minimum amount they think they can get it, because they don't know how much it's going to cost to recondition it. You tell them there's no cats in there, now they can do an estimate in their head and say, hey, I have to put a cat on here. Or, look, I live in Harris County, I live in Travis County, Texas, and those two counties have emissions requirements, and I'm going to have to get it tested, and it's not going to pass. I'm not going to bid. Thank you for saving me the headache. That's how we're building more trust, right? We're eliminating those headaches. I don't have to announce it.
My question in this real life scenario is, what if we ran at green light and still made the announcements? Would the vehicle bring more money versus a red light and announcements?
It probably would if it qualifies as a green light and you can do it. Now, here's my experience. If the cats are cut out, they've done something to that car. Are they racing it? Why did they take out the cats? You just don't go and cut out a catalytic converter out of a car, right? You're trying for more horsepower. And now the sound sounds different. Now do you have engine noise? How do you know? I mean, now you start having, that's a huge can of what ifs. So let's take another one that's not quite so obvious, maybe, to help. Let's take that same Honda Civic, but instead of having no cats, let's say it's all good, but it's got a bad transmission. I could run at green light and announce that it has a bad transmission, or I could run at red light and announce that it has a bad transmission. I think now it starts coming down to condition of the car, how many miles are on it, what year, make is, all that kind of stuff. That's what I would look at.
Well, that's what I was getting ready to say, because I hear the story and I say, well, Rich, the car was in Houston, Texas, and there's a lot of crime in Houston, and probably some guy was underneath the car with the cordless sawzall to cut the cat out so he could go take it and sell it and make some drug money. That's how I see it. Now, you said something, and I think, okay, yeah, this is true. If you see the cat missing, you see it's lowered a half an inch or an inch, and you see a NOS bottle in the back or in the trunk, and you see different gauges, and you see flames on the hood, and you might, that car's probably been hot rodded. If it's just a normal everyday car, red, black interior, with the cat missing, we can probably safely assume this guy got his cat stolen and he got his car repoed or what, So I'm sure it's different, but so I guess where I'm going.
No, what I've been seeing here, oddly enough, is modifications where people have modified the car and they put straight pipes in, eliminating the catalytic converter. Not that the catalytic converter is completely missing and stolen. Yeah, it's been kind of crazy. A lot of trucks, diesels with the DEF system being deleted. A lot of the these little rice grinders where they're using them for doing, what do they call it, drifting, where they're making donuts. We used to call it donuts. I guess they call it drifting now. I'm not cool. But my day it was a donut or fish hooks.
You can get there.
I can become cool?
Yeah, it's not too late.
Thanks for the confidence.
Yeah. You can get there, Rich. I know you can.
Hang on. Please make me cool someday so I can hang out with Ty at the next conference and have cold beer. Thank you. There.
Amen.
All right, keep going.
Amen.
Keep going. You said something about a model. You're talking about a model.
Well, yeah. So you're saying you've got categories. You got 4 categories.
Yep.
You can pick which category, but what I think you're doing is you're selling this category number 4, which isn't a magic wand. Because I think you and I have been buddies now for a little while, and I've actually known you before you got into this position you're in now, and I've been with you up until today, and you're still there. And it's taken a little bit of time and a lot of energy, a lot of time and a lot of energy to build a team at an auction that all cylinders are hitting on the money.
Yep.
And we've had long talks about people, how to, some people you got to get rid of, some people you got to get them to understand. No, I know we did it this way for the last 15 years, but we're going to do it this way now. So it's not something that somebody just walks in and says, I'm going to come in, I'm going to do a 2-day presentation to all your managers, and when I leave, everything's going to be great. So sign me up. I want that, Rich.
Good luck.
Can you provide that where you come in for 2 or 3 days and talk to my managers and everything's better when you leave?
Yep. I will send you John Maxwell's 3-ring binder of how to be a great leader. And you just read the 3-ring binder. And when you're done, you're going to be there. It's all done. It's just magic. It's amazing how it happens. There's no effort needs to be put in, no nothing.
Anybody that might be watching this, please understand we're being so sarcastic right now. If you can't read between the lines.
Or you can go to a garage sale and maybe you can find one of those cassette tapes. For the youngsters that are listening, a cassette tape was about, I don't know what, 3.5 inches. It was rectangle and it had 2 holes in it, and a pencil would fit in it perfect, and you could spin the pencil when the tape would come out. But on those tapes, there might be somebody like Zig Ziglar might have actually had a tape on how to do this. I mean, just listen. If you can find one of those old cassette players to listen to it, it'll be worth your time, because after you listen to his tapes, you're good. You're golden. It's over. You got it. You're as good as gold.
So in doing this, I get to go. I've been blessed like crazy, but I've been able to go to a lot of conferences, and I've gone to a lot of auction conferences. And in going to those, I've met a lot of auction people, usually general managers, C-suite people. And I think there's definitely a need for this. And I always talk about, I see it, it slaps you. You said in the very beginning, like your culture will slap you in the face. It can be a good slap, it can be a bad slap, but your culture will slap you. So I've always told you and everybody else, I'm like, I can tell you how my experience is going to be to pull 9 cars out of an auction simply by where are the gate passes. Your culture will tell me exactly what this is going to be like. And I can usually tell you, based on how long it takes me to get the gate passes, how long I'm going to be there pulling 9 cars out.
Yeah.
No joke.
Yep. So your gate passes, I'm going to use my auction as an example. So obviously our goal is to have a trustworthy process that gets you your gate passes ASAP. It's smooth and the experience is wonderful. Now, is that going to happen every time? Nope, because we're not perfect. And I'm sure there's times when on a day when you come in and ask for those gate passes where our culture may feel like it's command and control or accidental based on the experience, because we're human beings and we might not be perfect. But what that helps me do is wrap my head around, even though I'm living this, how much farther do we have to go? How much better can we get? And when you get there, how awesome is it going to be? And from what you're saying and some of your experience, and you've been around down here, we have a lot of those good experiences, but there's days we completely fumble, we completely screw it up. And you've got to pick your battle. Right? There's going to be pain in anything you do. If it was easy, everybody would do it. If what I'm preaching was easy, every auction would be so easy to walk into, so friendly, and you just get everything. It'd be great. Right? And nobody wakes up in the morning going, I'm going to go up, open an auction, and I'm going to make it so miserable that the transporters hate coming here. The dealers don't want to buy from me. The employees are only here because they need a paycheck. Nobody starts out that way. Right?
Right.
But
Exactly.
I don't think anybody knows how to get it to be intentional. And then what happens, human behavior is fear starts setting in, command and control. For example, you come into my sale and you ask for your 9 gate passes to load your truck. And then Steven doesn't have them, or Sandra behind the front desk doesn't have them. And then one of them picks up the phone and says, I need those gate passes right now. Ty's here. And now they're mad because they're yelling at the other person because they're frustrated because they didn't have the gate passes. Then that person hears that frustration. They go, well, fuck you, Sandra, I ain't going to go get those gate passes. But now all of a sudden, because you reacted to the situation, you didn't stop and take a second to think about it or be honest about it. Now you've got this command and control culture, and it just spins out of control versus, shit, Ty, I totally screwed this one up. We totally screwed it up, Ty. We're better than this. Can you bear with me for a minute while I fix this mess? So let me go back and find out what's going on. It's horrible. This is embarrassing, but let me get this figured out. You go back and you say, hey, can you help me out? I need to get these gate passes. Oh, yeah, I'd love to help you. 10 minutes later, I've given you all your gate passes. But there's a difference, and you can tell me when you walk into one or when somebody's been told not to give you the gate passes. Nope, can't give you those gate passes. You got to call the dealer.
Don't. Stop. No. I don't even want to talk about it. I was doing
So,
just
okay,
fine.
we're gonna talk about it. What kind of culture do you think that organization is building from the top down? Out of the
Wow.
4 levels, what are they building? They're
Number
building a
one.
command. Yes, exactly. They're ruining it, but yet they want to be at the other end. And the sad part is they don't have anybody showing them the light. If you're listening, organization that's doing this stuff, there is a way to get beyond it. But you can't just intimidate and put fear in there. Remember, command and control is living through scarcity and fear, right? The opposite of what I'm trying to do is with grace and dignity and abundance. Yeah, we got more cars for you to buy. Ty, I got more gate passes for you. Give me a second. I'm going to find all those. Versus, you can call the dealer to get those gate passes, as if they're the last gate pass on earth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Terrible. Okay. So if I'm, how many, I guess the next question I've got is like, because we have these conversations and I always try to be as nice as I can, but it baffles me that there are general managers of auctions who don't know there's a problem, or they, maybe they're pretending there's not a problem, but there's something. It's like, I don't think you really understand there's something wrong here in this whole environment. It feels weird. It looks bad. There's nothing about it that's good. Hey, everything's fine.
They're probably living in an accidental culture where they're just friendly with everybody and everything's going to work itself out. It's all hunky-dory. They don't have solid processes. They don't have a vision. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. I don't know. But it's the default level that they've fallen to.
So here's what it is. It just clicked as you're talking. I'm like, okay, I know how to get everybody's attention. To take a second and listen to what Rich and Ty are talking about. I figured it out. If you will give us 10 minutes of your time, we can show you how to make a lot more money.
Yep.
That's it. That's
Yep.
that's how you deal with the guy who says everything's fine. I don't need your help. Everybody's happy, and go away because I've got something I need to go do. That's not auction related.
So if you're in that command and control environment again, you're back down to scarcity, right? You're living on a finite amount. I've got enough money, I've already made enough. That's scarcity. Don't you want to make more money? Don't you want to be better? Okay. And if you can, but there's pain's going to come with that. Pick your battle, pick your poison. To get to become an intentional culture, to identify your vision and your values, and then start leading from them, setting up all your meetings behind them, all your policies, procedures, everything is going to take time and pain.
Right. And
But you'll make more money.
The beauty of what you're saying is that you're not talking out your ass.
Nope.
Okay. You physically, I've known you long enough to know that you have walked into an operation and you have turned it around, and it's taken. Right. So
2 years.
also in that,
It's not done.
it's a testimonial though, because I remember talking to you on the phone in the very beginning of this. How many cars you run this week? 150, 100. Oh yeah.
It was more like
How's that?
100.
Great. Oh yeah. Well, we need more. I need more cars, Ty. Oh, well, how are you going to get more cars? I'm working on. It. Sales. Okay. I don't want just more cars. I want dealer cars. So now it even gets more specific. This is what I love about it, because this, you talked about earlier, vision. What's the vision? Looking back now, you didn't say, Ty, let me share my vision with you. We were having a conversation, being friends, and talking about how your week went and how many cars did you run. Well, I want dealer cars. Oh, really? Are you sure about that? Because dealers are crazy. Yeah, no, I want dealer cars. Really, Rich? No, that's what I want. Okay. And you want more commercial accounts, client cars too? Yeah, I'll take them. I'm going for dealer. I remember hearing that a long time ago, year one. And so as the story unfolds, turn the page, next chapter. Hey, Rich, how many cars did you run this week?
300.
More than double from when we started the journey.
Triple.
Right? More than triple.
It's triple.
Triple.
Yeah.
So in less than 2 years, okay, we went to triple. And we're not done. Rich is not done here. And
Not done.
I think what I'm saying is we have a real life testimonial as to a timeline. And again, I keep hammering away. Nobody's going to walk in and talk to you for 3 days, give you a book and say, now everything should be better. I mean, I've talked to you. You said it tonight even. I was out in the back checking cars in. Okay. Yeah, I was out on the lot parking cars. Okay. I've been there. I've seen you do this. I've seen you go to the mechanic. I've seen you go to the detail shop. I've seen you go to check-in. I've seen you hang out with your ladies at the front. You're engaged. You're part of the team. You're doing it. And to me, that's what a great culture. Everybody's a part of the real life work that has to get done in order to get from 100 to 350 in 2 years. And through the course of that, there's been plenty of challenges that have definitely made you scratch your head. How are we going to work? How are we going to fix this one? So as a viewer, if I was watching this and I was listening to this, I would think, I'm going to go out and I'm going to talk to people and see what's my culture. How are my people? Do the undercover boss. Go hang out in the transport parking lot. Go talk to the drivers. Go talk to the drive away people. Those guys that are in and out of your lot all day long. What are they doing? Talk to your dealer. Your dealers that come in. What do they think about this place? Just be honest with them. What do you think about this place? Dealer's always going to say your fees are too high. Okay, besides my fees are too high, what else do you like or not like about this auction? Well, your arbitration policies suck. You screw me every time I arbitrate a car. Okay, good, taking a mental note. Everybody knows everybody hates arbitration, but how can we make that better? Rich Levene has figured out a way to make arbitration go away, or definitely
Make it
reduce
better.
the heck out of it. Make it better.
Yep.
So I guess what I'm saying is if I'm in an auction, I'm any kind of management, I want to know what the heck Rich is doing down in Houston. That's what I want. How do we get a hold of you?
712-358-1282. Or you can hit me up on LinkedIn. I'm all over LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, you're on LinkedIn for sure. So
you can
I think
DM
that's
me
a
on
great
LinkedIn.
idea.
If you're gonna hit up the phone number 712-358-1282, your best bet is to send me a text message. I get so many spam calls a day. Just send me a text message. Hey Rich, it's Ty. I saw your podcast. I heard what you're doing. I'd love to have a talk about culture. Hey, you've got me hooked. I'll give you some stuff for free. And the other thing I'm doing is, I told you at the beginning, I'm building this assessment. It's multiple choice. Each question has A, B, C, or D. You pick it out. It comes back. I compile it. I look at it. I'll be able to give you a score back and say, hey, based on the answers I got back from your team, your employees, I don't know which ones are which because it's all anonymous. They said you are living in the command and control section. And they'll go, no fucking way, that's not me. Well, you just proved it because you're yelling at me. Or, and somebody else would go, or they might go, really? Dang. I don't want to be there. Can you help me out? Absolutely. Let's talk about it. Let's put a plan in place. And based on all those questions, I can tell you I've got 4 areas that we're measuring on where you need help. And we'll be able to go back things. Is it your managers are the problem? Is it your policies are the problem? Is it your vision that's the problem? We're going to be able to dissect these things super easy, super quick, and make it easy and lay it out. And you can tell me after I give it to you. I'll give you the assessment for free. I'll talk to you for free and tell you what it's going to take, and then look at you and you can say, hey, here's what we got. It's a game plan. I'm going to help you make more money. Do you want to make more money? Yes or no? And I promise you, I'll give you the information. If you can take the information I give you and do it yourself, God bless you. That's why they make YouTube, right? Go do it. I helped you out. I'm happy.
I think it's always refreshing for me to hear and to talk to you, because I always respect, and I think anybody that's watching or listening, I really like to hear from people that are either currently doing it or just got done doing it.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of Meet Me at the Gate. I hope the conversation has helped to fuel your drive and equip you with insights to steer your team towards success. Remember, the road to success is always under construction. And until next time, keep your engines revving and your gas tanks full.